The iPhone 13 cinematic mode for video that was revealed during the Apple Keynote 2021 has really turned some heads, and I'm going to show you why you should be very excited about it. It comes along with several great other new iPhone 13 camera features, which I'll sum up at the end of this video, so stick around for that. The great news is cinematic video will be usable across the entire range of iPhone 13, not just in the Pro lineup. Unlike last year's introduction of sensor shift optical image stabilization, which was only on the Pro Max model. By the way, that sensor shift image stabilization is also built into the entire iPhone 13 range, so this will help with preventing your shaky videos. Why is iPhone 13 cinematic video mode good for you? Well, it's going to easily, and I dare say it, automatically make your YouTube and TikTok videos better. It will make it so your background is less in focus, meaning less distracting. Your videos will appear to be shot on a more professional camera and give them a massive wow factor. We've all made videos of ourselves where the autofocus chose the background, making you out of focus. Cinematic mode eliminates this problem altogether. It will also help with your storytelling if you're shooting to deliberately make an edited video. It does this by allowing you to choose what is and isn't in focus when you're filming. The best news for me though is that you will be able to choose and control focus both during and after you've recorded the video. That's right, after recording. I'll explain why this is significant in a moment, but first, let's back up a little bit and see what is the new iPhone 13 cinematic video mode. Well, as I explained and demonstrated in the iPhone 13 leak video I recently did, cinematic video is portrait photo mode on iPhone brought to video. This means you can get the classic defocused background look often used in movies and TV shows. What this does is puts the viewer's attention on the subject you want to have the emphasis on while blurring out the background, as you can see back here, or blurring out the foreground and having the background sharp. And there is a creative possibility of using rack focus, which is when you change the focus point from the foreground to the background or vice versa, whilst recording, as a creative way to direct the viewer's attention forwards and backwards. So how do you use cinematic mode on iPhone 13? Well, there are two modes, automatic and manual. Let's talk about automatic first. In automatic cinematic mode, the camera can anticipate the subject is about to enter the frame and then will snap focus from the background to your subject automatically. Also, iPhone detects when there's multiple people in the frame, and when your subject in the foreground looks away from the camera, as you can see here, the iPhone intelligently changes its focus point to the subject in the background. And then when your first subject looks back at the camera, it focuses back on your first subject. That's a pretty neat feature, hey? In manual mode, you can take control of which part of your screen or which subject is in focus. So you can tap to shift focus at any time here. Also, if you lock onto that subject, it will do subject tracking until you tell it to stop. Also another great feature, right? It should be mentioned here that portrait photo mode on iPhone was a great inclusion that makes most of your portrait photos look better. Now, iPhone 13 cinematic mode will make most of your videos look better in most situations, but it doesn't automatically make your videos cinematic per se, because a true cinematic film combines amazing story, actors, lighting, and camera movement. And this type of defocused background and rack focus is merely a cinematic technique. So Apple may be just getting ahead of themselves here by labeling this feature as cinematic video. But hey, let's move on. Now, as I mentioned earlier, perhaps the most exciting news is the ability to choose the focus after you've already recorded the video. This is akin to a magic trick if you ask me. So how does iPhone 13 cinematic mode achieve this? Well, whilst recording in cinematic video mode, iPhone 13 builds and stores a depth map inside the recorded clip. This means that you can both choose the amount of background blur and the point of focus while you are editing the clip afterwards. This is amazing and will eliminate all those times where you've recorded yourself and you've been out of focus due to bad autofocus. This is hands down the best new feature for me. It's going to open up a whole new dimension for your TikTok and YouTube videos, or if you want to shoot something a bit more serious, a great new trick to add to your tool belt. In a moment, I'll summarize the other best new iPhone 13 camera features. But first, if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button below and consider subscribing to the channel where I have both long and short content for iPhone tips, tricks and hacks. Take a look. The best new iPhone 13 camera features include ultra-wide macro photography, macro video and macro slow motion. This makes for extreme close-ups to be in sharp focus. Up to 2.2 times better performance in low light on the wide camera for both video and photo mode. That's huge. Better low light performance on other cameras as well. Night mode across all cameras. Night mode capture times are reduced for photo mode. 6 times optical zoom range on the iPhone Pro models. Sensor shift optical image stabilization on all iPhone 13s. ProRes video at up to 4K 30 frames per second coming later in the year. I'm excited about all the new features coming to iPhone 13 in addition to these camera features, and I've just pre-ordered my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Which one will you get? Tell me in a comment below. But for now, watch this video next for a bit of fun entertainment where I do the world's fastest iPhone 12 Pro Max unboxing. Hint, it's under a minute. I reckon you'll have a bit of a laugh with it. Go get it.